Hey there, friend. Welcome to the Real Mom Manual podcast. This show is for moms who love their full lives, but are carrying a lot and are done with that unnecessary chaos, making it harder than it already is. I'm Michelle, mom of 3, including 1 with Down syndrome. And around here, we focus on systems, rhythms, and special needs support. Not perfect, not effortless, just making life simpler to manage. Less friction, that is the goal. Before we get started, I want you to know this show is designed to meet you where you are, not where you think you should be. Today's episode is what I like to think of as maintenance seasons. Those stretches where life gets heavier, transitions stack up, and everything requires a little bit more effort than usual. So this is something I previously probably would have referred to as survival mode, but the goal here is that we move through that and past it. And if you're coming off a period of transition, whether that's having a newborn baby or 2 weeks of winter break, you still will probably feel like your footing is a little bit off. So today's episode is for you. Winter break really messes with me every single year. And before a school break, I always think like, it'll be fine. And then a few days in, I am like, what is happening right now? So school being out removes that support, more support than we realize, regulation, rhythm, predictability. When that structure disappears, the load doesn't vanish, it just shifts. Meals, supervision, emotional regulation, transitions, it lands back on that parent who is already holding a lot. And here's the part that I forget. Kids don't magically relax on break. They actually probably escalate. Structure disappears. They're like, perfect. Time for more noise, more negotiating, more snack requests every 5 minutes, and more I'm bored, which honestly, my daughter didn't even know about the word bored until she went to probably her last year of preschool last year. And oh, by the way, they're standing in front of 800 toys, brand new ones, in fact, that they got probably 2 weeks ago at Christmas. My husband works for himself. I'm used to the rhythm being me, the kids, and the day-to-day. He took off for over a week during winter break this year, and I am not exaggerating when I say it felt like somebody turned down the difficulty volume level of life. Not because he fixed anything, just because there was another adult body, another person to carry that background load, someone to hold the baby so I could take a sort of extended shower instead of like a rushed 10-minute shower while he's napping and my middle is doing a little bit of quiet time. That week was really clear reminder for me. Ease doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from a shared load. Another adult doesn't magically solve things, but it changes the math. And when you're already stretched thin, math matters. Here's a reality check I don't think we say out loud enough. Doing everything alone is not actually a badge of honor, as even my family and past would have me telling you that it is. It's not impressive. It's just exhausting. And we'll talk more about that at another time. So then there was another layer here. The baby, he just turned 1 right after Christmas. So I'm officially now a year postpartum, which still feels totally wild. 2025 flew by. I'm pretty sure that the years 2020 through 2025 just poof, don't even exist. The days are long, the years are short. I hate how true that goofy phrase is. I don't know if it's because the kids are getting older, I'm older, or I'm just permanently tired, but time feels fast. I am also weaning, which is a brand new territory for me emotionally. With my oldest, breastfeeding was hard. Lactation appointments, tongue tie, release, combo feeding, and then formula around 5 months because I was drowning. And then we had just found out that I was pregnant. So with my middle, I exclusively pumped for about a month or 2. And honestly, I don't know how I survived doing that. It was so tough, especially with a new toddler. My oldest 2 are only a little bit over a year apart, obviously. So I was constantly attached to something, a baby, a pump, a schedule, a crying child. My body was never just mine. And I have so much respect for exclusive pumpers because after trying it, that was pretty rough. This third time has, we'll say, quote unquote, been the easiest breastfeeding wise. And that's not because it was actually easy. It's because I had systems set up at home it's kind of crazy how adding a third child was actually less chaotic than becoming a parent in the beginning, I'll say. This was my, I guess, lived experience. And I had a much clearer sense too of like what to let go. I had no expectations at all. So even so, weaning is still kind of emotional and weird. It's not just food, it's comfort, routine. Your body is doing something for somebody else all day. Even, we'd have family visit, my parents would visit and they're like, wow, you're literally, this was back when he was probably about 3 months old. They're like, all you do is feed the baby. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I do. So changing that and going from doing that all the time to doing it a little bit less of the time, but still a lot, even when you are ready for it to kind of be over, still takes up space. Here's something I guess I didn't expect. I meant to celebrate that milestone. I was so proud of myself. I cannot believe I have breastfed my third child for an entire year. Whoa. I kind of forgot to even celebrate. Our third is such a third child. He got a slice of vanilla cake that he barely ate that I happened to get on clearance at the grocery store. He enjoyed the happy birthday song and I almost forgot to take his 1-year-old photo. No balloon arch, no elaborate setup, just life is happening. And honestly, it feels about right for the season that we're in right now. The days leading up to winter break were rough too. Everybody goes through this, right? Spirit Week, special lunches, performances, theme days, extracurricular activities, extra things for us for dance and extra speech appointments, extra everything. Even with just a kindergartner, a preschooler, and a baby, I could feel like the overstimulation just building. And then winter break hit and the chaos just shifted locations. Instead of 3 to 5 p.m. intensity at home after school, it was all day intensity at home. More exhaustion, less patience. Yes, more screen time, no judgment. We use screens. But for us, especially with my middle, more screens usually means more dysregulation. Not in a screens are evil kind of way, just in a I can see the pattern way. And when it's time to transition away, it's like trying to peel, I heard this phrase recently, a barnacle off a boat. Because ain't that the truth? That's usually when comparison creeps in, at least for me. From a mom of 3 in 2025 perspective, ditching screens entirely is not realistic for us. And I'm sure it's probably not realistic for you either, as much as you want to ditch the screens, right? And clarity matters more than perfection. Comparison shows up when we're tired, not when we're clear. I also dropped things this year that I normally would do. Teacher gifts, thoughtful little extra things for the kids, all of that. And I noticed, I felt a very faint, we'll say, which used to be louder, flicker of guilt. I saw beautifully coordinated teacher baskets on Instagram. I felt that old tug of like, why didn't I do that? So this year has been about protecting my peace, and I'm bringing that into 2026. Choosing good enough over perfect, not dropping the ball, just being realistic. Because when I overextend, I don't become a better mom or a better wife. I become resentful, and resentment is a signal, not a virtue to live by. Comparison is not the thief of joy. It's the thief of presence. And presence is what actually matters, especially during a season of giving, love, happiness, family, Christmas, especially. So let's talk about how to support yourself in these high demand seasons, because these are not rare. They're predictable. I don't think these stretches should be labeled as chaos. I think of them, as I mentioned, as maintenance mode. The goal isn't optimization, it's continuity. Things keep moving even if they're not polished. The biggest shift for me has been this: maintenance seasons get easier when you plan for them instead of fighting them. And two things that really helped me going into even postpartum, especially last year, and still help during weeks like winter break are, number one, doubling or tripling meals that I am already making. And number two, getting things out of my brain and into my calendar. We'll start with one and say, for example, a few weeks ago, I made chicken pot pie. I tripled it. I froze 2 extra bags of the filling, chicken gravy, veggies, all the stuff inside, flattened it, and put it in our deep freezer ready to go. So last week, dinner was done in minutes because I had the hard part that takes 20 to 30 minutes already handled. And yes, I was genuinely excited that the pie crust pack came with 6 crusts, perfect for 3 pies. This is what counts as entertainment when you're a mom of 3 and slightly obsessed with efficiency. The calendar piece matters just as much. Tasks will sit there and judge you. They're not very in your face. They just kind of show up in the background, which to me means I don't actually do the things. So events, when you put an event in your calendar, it shows up, you get a reminder, and then you take care of it and you move on. I use my calendar like my brain because my brain is already full. The overall point is this: maintenance isn't chaos, it's upkeep. Laundry moving through the cycle counts even if it's not folded. Dishes being available counts even if the dishwasher gets unloaded at weird times. The goal is momentum, not completion or perfection. When you're parenting a child with special needs, maintenance mode isn't optional. It's built in to the baseline. That doesn't mean life is broken. It means the margin is frequently thinner. And when the margin is thinner, systems matter even more. School being out doesn't pause development. Impulse control struggles don't stop. Supervision needs don't take a break. If your days feel louder or more hands-on, it's not failure. It's layered caregiving with less support. My middle was diagnosed with Down syndrome at actually 6 months old. We have seen genetics, cardiology, hearing, eyes, the whole lineup. He is healthy and he is thriving, thankfully. Right now, we are deep in preschool, his final year of developmental preschool and his IEP life. And at now, what was our 3rd meeting back in the fall, I advocated for more speech minutes and I got them. I was so proud. Not double, not enough to fight about it with all of his teachers and therapists, but enough that mattered and they gave it to us. And if you've ever fought for those minutes, you know that that is a huge win. The system is not designed, unfortunately, to be easy to navigate. One good coordinator can change everything. A burnt out one leaves you totally lost. And I've been there. I had one that just completely left, went on sick leave, never told anybody. And 3 of my deadlines passed because you got deadlines when you are working with the system. And I'm like, what happened to her? Isn't she supposed to be messaging me right now? So I called. Oh, she left. Oh, good to know. Good to know. So part of my goal with this show is helping you stay calm and try to help you find how you can get to those resources while you navigate systems that are, frankly, insanely ridiculous. I don't know how else to put it. One small regulation win for us lately has been 20 minutes of playground time before dance class for my daughter. So my son's body really needs to move around before his brain can kind of relax a little bit and listen. So progress doesn't always show up on paper when it comes to this type of stuff. SMART goals, oh my gosh. Sometimes though, it just looks like fewer meltdowns or calmer bodies. Let's talk about what is absolutely not working at our house right now, and that is the playroom. When my husband started his engineering firm, our home office was basically an open bonus room between bedrooms. No doors, no soundproofing, not ideal with kids, but actually we did not have kids yet. We had just had our first as he was getting busier. So as the business grew, we did get an outside office and we turned that space into a playroom, especially as the kids got a little bit bigger. Except kids don't want to play where they're quote unquote supposed to. They want to play where you are. So it became a beautifully organized museum of unused toys. I moved it to the dining room and chaos just migrated. And then I moved it back to the playroom again because it looked like a toy store threw up the second you walked in our house. The messy middle is so frustrating, but I have learned not to confuse it with failure. You got to try it. I always say try before you buy. See if it works. Who knows? The middle is where the decisions are made. It just doesn't look impressive yet. Same story with our toy kitchen. Oh my gosh, this thing. Montessori, dreams, real life, nightmare. Fake food everywhere. A wooden egg lived under my table for an embarrassingly long amount of time. I would just push it with the vacuum. I moved that kitchen outside. That was almost a month ago, and my kids have not touched it one time. Actually, I believe my daughter filled the sink up with water, which she has begged me to do inside since she got the kitchen. And it was usually a no. So she filled it up. That was it. Hasn't touched it since. Which circles back around now to the bigger point. Our kids don't need more. They need things they actually use and love. And we need homes that we can truly live in. So when everything feels heavy, you know what needs to be close to instant? Dinner. My favorite quick 10 minutes to the table dinner is rotisserie chicken, usually from Costco or Sam's Club. Don't come at me for the hormones thing. Bagged salad and boxed mac and cheese. Or if I'm feeling especially 5 minutes or less, Panera mac and cheese that comes, again, from Costco or Sam's in a prepackaged container. By the way, that's way cheaper than actually buying it at Panera. If we are feeling maybe a little bit fancier here. Dinner is done in 10 minutes. Feed everybody, preserve the energy. If someone complains, cool. You can be disappointed while you eat that chicken. So if this season is feeling a bit harder than usual, it does not mean you're failing. It means you're responding to the actual real demands that are life. Progress is not flashy. It's quiet. It looks like things do not fall apart. And that still counts. That's great. If you need quote unquote permission to drop something this week, consider this. Yes, drop it. I hope you'll join me this Thursday for a Carline Coffee Break where I'm talking about how I use the Google Calendar that I mentioned a little bit ago like a personal assistant. Because if it's not on my calendar, it's not happening. And this is not to give you any more work. It's actually to give your brain a break. Thanks so much for listening to the Real Mom Manual podcast. If something in this episode made you think that would actually help, share it with another mom who might need it. And if you want to help more moms find the show, taking 30 seconds to leave a review genuinely makes a difference. Until next time, keep it real, keep it simple, and I'll talk to you soon.